Hey everybody. Little update on the Mark III, Michael's Mark III that we have here in the shop. Um, we haven't updated any of the stuff other than social media, so I figured it would be a good time to shoot a quick video, let you know kind of what we've done since we last left off with Michael's car. If you remember, we were working on, showed you guys the rear end, how we had completed that. Well, the rear end is in now, and we're going to take you around to this side of the car. I'm going to grab a flashlight and see if we can get you in there to see what we got going on there. So, the rear is all in. We've got the lower control arms all hooked up, the upper link is in, the Panhard bar is in. We've temporarily got it sitting on the existing coilovers, the Bilstein coilovers that we're going to replace. If you look right here, we've got the brake lines run across the axle as well. So everything's just in here. If you look at the front of the upper link, the nut's on, but it's not tightened down. We've basically just got it all sitting on its own weight at this point. We'll wait to tighten up all of those items when we get the new coilovers, and then once the drive shaft is in, because we can set pinion angle. If you'll notice, the gas tank is in, but it's kind of hanging off to one side. We have been working on getting some of the rear aluminum back in. We fabricated a new battery box and some other things. So let me lower the lift. See if I can do this with one hand. Oh, sorry about that. And we'll get you a better look of all of the stuff we've been working on over the last week. I think it's been just over a week since we shot a video. So all of this stuff that we're talking about today is stuff that we've done over the last week and a half. So we fabricated a battery box. I don't know how many people have seen this before. We've done this on a number of cars. This space in the driver's side, like rear quarter panel, is all just empty space back here in the fender well. And even though it looks deceiving, like the body doesn't, like this would stick through the body, it actually doesn't. There's actually like an inch and a half of room at the back side of this. We're going to use a very small battery. Both Odyssey and Excess Power sell a battery for this. I believe it's a 925. Both of them using the same number, but it's a different letter designation before. I think the Excess Power is like an S925. And it has like, I think 1100 cranking amps, close to that. The 925 is the cold cranking. So other than cutting a hole, which I think on this one we're going to actually cut the hole back here, and we're going to run the battery cables down through there underneath the chassis and just above the gas tank. Other than that, I don't think we have anything left to complete the actual battery box. I mean, obviously we're going to need to get the battery put in there and do a hold down, but the battery box itself is pretty much done. It's just some 090 aluminum. We stick the ends in the brake and bend a 90-degree angle to make the sides, and so that's in. Again, the gas tank's in. I did the fuel pumps in there. You can't see it right now because I haven't cut the access in the top of the trunk aluminum yet, but I did just today work on getting the trunk aluminum cut out, since we were reutilizing all this space above the gas tank. I had to cut the stock trunk aluminum out so that we could have access to this, and I did that today. And probably in the next couple days, eventually we'll have to fabricate a lid for the battery box, and that'll get carpeted when the trunk gets carpeted. We'll create an access panel to cover this once we get this cut open, and then probably next we're going to start working on getting the side frame rails, the 4-inch round tubes that run along the side of the car. You can see one of them right here. We're going to get those cleaned up down the side of the car so we can start running both the fuel lines on the passenger side and the brake lines on the driver's side. And then we should be getting the coilovers here in the next couple days. I think we're going to order some aftermarket springs. We may go with the iBox. We're going to reduce the spring rate by a little bit in the back and a little bit in the front, just to give the car a little bit softer ride. Since it's riding on 17-inch wheels and tires, they tend to be a little bit more stiff. So other than that, I think that pretty much catches you up on where we're at with the car. There's been parts coming in here and there. We've been getting brake line fittings, and I think we've got some brake tubing on the way. Just a bunch of little kind of incidental stuff that we are going to need to continue on the car. At some point, I'm going to have to take this thing outside. I wanted to get the back of the car kind of buttoned up so that I can roll this thing outside the shop, pour as much degreaser on the engine and the front part of the chassis as I can. That's one of the reasons the firewall had to come out. I didn't want to get any degreaser or any type of chemical on the emission sticker, because we need that. They are irreplaceable, and so I didn't want to have any issues with that. We had to replace the firewall anyway because it was just Swiss cheese, full of holes. So I've got it safely stored over on the back of my F350 workbench, and we'll save that, and we'll put it we'll fix it to the new firewall panel when that goes in. But this way I can just, you know, put as much degreaser on the engine as we're going to need. I think it's going to take more than just one go over to get everything, you know, clean enough so that every time you touch the motor, you're not, you know, taking all the grease and dirt and grime and everything with you. But as soon as that happens, then we're going to just continue moving forward on the car. So as we're running the brake lines and everything from the back of the car to the front of the car, we'll be, you know, cleaning and then repainting the chassis to make it look nice. And then we'll work our way towards the front suspension, because we still have to disassemble the entire front suspension and check everything to make sure that we don't have any unusual wear on the front, and that everything is good to go for us to put everything back. We do have new brakes, new brake calipers for the rear. They've arrived. We do need to order rotors, so I'm probably going to get on that in the next week or so. Then the back will be pretty much buttoned up by the time we run the fuel lines and the brake lines. But I think that's going to be it for today. You can see I cleaned up the shop purposely because I knew I was going to be shooting a video this afternoon. It was a disaster. My little fab table here that I roll out when I'm cutting up aluminum panels and stuff, you can see it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works. So with that, I'm going to thank you for watching today, and I hope you all have a good day. We'll see you.